Hello everyone, Andrew here, and today I have another pickup video for everyone of some games that I have picked up for a whole bunch of different consoles over the last couple of weeks. But before I get to that, I really want to thank everyone for their support, because I very recently hit 1,000 subscribers, and I am actually even over it somehow now. So I just want to thank everyone so much, because it creeped up on me way faster than I ever expected it was going to. I was at 500 like a couple of months ago, and then it just like blasted off from there. I'm not really sure why or how. It's funny because I just started like my kind of reboot channel back in September, and about the first day after I transferred over from my old channel to my new channel, I had about 150 subscribers, so not really everyone followed, and then I was getting like, 2 or 3 subscribers a day after that. But then recently it's been taking off. I'm getting like 10 to 15 subscribers a day, so it's been really incredible. So I was not expecting to ever hit 1,000 this soon at all. So I'd like to thank everyone so much for all of their support. And in the near future, I promise that some cool things will definitely be happening, and the main thing is definitely the 100th random game of the day is coming up. Because I just recently uploaded number 96, which was Pokemon Blue, which was a lot of fun. But number 100 is almost here, and it is going to be so massive that it will probably have to be broken up into multiple parts. So I don't know how exactly that will work as a random game of the day, but it will be a lot of fun, and I hope that everyone will enjoy that. And I have to get some friends over here because it's going to be a multiplayer random game of the day. So I'm sure it will be really good, and I hope that everyone will enjoy that once it is up, hopefully in the near future. And the second thing I'm thinking of doing is nothing 100% yet, but I'm hoping to maybe do a giveaway, because I mean 1,000 subscribers is probably like the best milestone you can hit on YouTube. I mean, I guess maybe like 10,000, 100,000, those are really cool too. But I mean 1,000, I'm not saying like I'm ever going to get any better than that. So I'm just really happy with 1,000, and I think it is absolutely incredible that I ever hit it. So I think a giveaway is probably in order, so I'll have to see what I can find that people may like. But yeah, so hopefully that's just a quick announcement at the beginning there. Hopefully it did not take up too much time. And yeah, thanks again to everyone for your support. If it wasn't for everyone watching, it wouldn't be any fun making videos. I mean, it is fun making videos, but I mean, replying to people's comments and getting people's feedback, that's a whole other kind of level of fun with it too. I mean, it's fun making the videos, and then it's kind of the interaction with the viewers that I really, really enjoy too. So anyway, enough of that. Let's get on to the pickups for this week's video. Things from a whole bunch of different consoles. Xbox, PlayStation, all the way back to Super Nintendo, a couple of Atari things. So, some of the stuff is a bit newer, and that's how you've been kind of seeing it in a few of my videos recently, and I don't know why. I mean, it's a shame I didn't start this channel like, 4 or 5 years ago. I used to walk into thrift stores and there'd just be bags and bags of, Super Nintendo games and NES games and 64 games hanging on hooks in like the bags, and sometimes it'd be like 2 games in like a bag for like $2, and it'd be ridiculous, and I'd come home with so many games. But these days it seems like a lot of the really, really old stuff has kind of been exhausted, and I guess I'm finding more of the PlayStation 2 and Xbox now. But that doesn't mean that there aren't some good PlayStation 2 and Xbox games out there. As you will see, I actually did pick up a few of them here. And there can be some really fun things to find for those consoles too, although I really do wish I would find more Super Nintendo and 64 still. And I like never ever see NES games anymore. It's really, really rare to see any NES games, even ones that I have. Even Mario and Duck Hunt, I used to see, like 5 of those a day, and now maybe I'll see like once a month. It's crazy, but anyway, let's get to the actual games now, and the first of which is Morrowind for the Xbox, I was about to say Xbox 360, for the original Xbox. The Elder Scrolls 3, I've never played 1 or 2. I think that they were for like really, really old computers, so I think 3 is like the first one that anyone actually ever really realized existed. I like how it's the best of Platinum hits, so it's not just like greatest hits platinum, like Player's Choice Platinum hits. It was Platinum hits, and then this sold so well as a Platinum hit that it became the best of Platinum hits. And this is really cool. I've never actually played Morrowind. So it's very cool to pick this up for the Xbox. I never really got into the Elder Scrolls. It looks like something I would really, really like. And I had planned to get Skyrim for the PlayStation 3, but then I heard about all the problems it had, so I never got it. I'm sure it's really, really awesome for the computer, although, just again, I never got around to getting it for the computer. So unfortunately, I'm kind of out of the loop when it comes to Elder Scrolls, but I've always really wanted to get into it. So I don't know if I should start with number 3 just for fun, and then maybe go find Oblivion and then Skyrim. Maybe I'll do something like that. We'll see. Now that I actually have Morrowind, so maybe I can kind of appreciate just how far the series has come. Maybe I can even go find number 1 and 2, although I have no idea exactly what they're for. I don't remember at the moment. I remember I researched it like half a year ago. Anyway, Um, next game for the Xbox, and this is a really another bizarre one, is Advent, and as you see it says play and win $1 million. Now unfortunately this contest is probably like super over by now. Only on Xbox Live, so I'm guessing you probably have to be like connected in order to do whatever it is you have to do to win the money, and I'm guessing that, you know, the servers or whatever that used to host this are probably long gone. So I don't even think you can use Xbox Live on the original Xbox anymore. Although, fun fact, it actually does come with like a 2-month, there's the book in there, although underneath the book, there is like a free 2-month Xbox Live card. I actually have a lot of Xbox games with that in it, surprisingly. I don't know if those would work for Xbox 360 too. Although, either way, I haven't really worried about scratching the thing off or pulling it back to see what the code is. But anyway, I think that's really interesting. I mean, a game where you can win money. Another one that I can, this reminds me of a game way back on the NES called Treasure Master, where there was like a super secret 5th level, and if, actually no, how did it work? You played the game, and you figured out how the game worked, and then I think one day they released a code, and then you like entered this code at the title screen. Then you had to play through the game, and then after you played through the game, you got to a secret 5th level, and then something like that. I don't know. Either way, Treasure Master, I remember there was some sort of way they gave out prizes in the game. So this seems like another kind of game like that. I guess also like Sword Quest for the Atari. Seems like things were popular. Things like that were popular back in the day. So I'm not entirely sure how this actually works. Maybe I'll have to do a random game of the day on it, even though there's probably no chance of me winning $1 million. But still, a very interesting idea. And I've never heard of this game before, so it might be worth giving it a playthrough. So we'll have to see about that. Anyway, next Xbox game, everyone's favorite movie, Finding Nemo. I've heard they might be making a sequel to this. I'm not entirely sure. I've not been keeping up with my with my movie knowledge lately. And the other game, everyone's other favorite movie, Shrek 2. I never saw any Shreks after the first one, so I have no idea if Shrek 2 is any good or not. Next game, a very good game, Half-Life 2. You might be saying, how do you not have Half-Life 2 for the original Xbox? I actually have Half-Life 2 sealed. And I never bothered unsealing it, but I mean Half-Life 2 is an awesome game. But of course I have it for the PC, and I think the PC is probably the best place to play Half-Life 2, or any of the games in the Half-Life series. So anyway, that's why I never really bothered unsealing it. But I saw an unsealed copy, so I said might as well grab it just in case someday I do get the urge to play it on the original Xbox. Next game is The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, although this one is just Platinum Hits, and not the Platinum Hits of the Platinum Hits. I think that's really bizarre that they actually did that. Next game for the Xbox is Rainbow Six 3, Black Arrow. Rainbow Six 3, what a bizarre name. It's like Rainbow Six 3, Rainbow 63, I have no idea. Next game we have Full Spectrum, Warrior, 10 Hammers, looks like another shooting game on the Xbox. Let's all act surprised! No, I'm kidding. I know the Xbox has way more than shooting games. Although, it does seem to be the general assumption that Xbox, you know, the majority of the games for it are first-person shooters, especially with the 360 these days. A lot of people seem to think that. Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. As you can see, a few of these obviously used to be owned by, like, Blockbuster at some point. So, they're not in super awesome shape, but luckily only a few of those have that issue. Next game we have here is The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. And hey, guess what? You get a 3-night rental because it is a new release. Remember, this game just came out a few days ago. Yeah, but Blockbuster's been out of business here for a long time. I mean, there used to be a whole bunch of Blockbusters in my area, and a whole bunch of other video rental stores too, although in recent years, they've kind of just all disappeared. I don't know how exactly that is in the rest of the world. Like, I don't know if in the US, maybe video rental stores are still popular. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, have this for PlayStation 2, but not Xbox, and that is Tomb Raider Legend. So, yeah, Tomb Raider Legend. One more game for the Xbox, and that is Special Forces Nemesis Strike. And this is another shooting game. From the looks of it, a shooting game. From the looks of it, looks like shooting and tanks and helicopters. Probably not bad. I have to check this one out too. So yes, I picked up some random Xbox games recently. Some of them, which are, as you can see, are very interesting. The Elder Scrolls, and I'm definitely very interested in checking out this Advent game and just seeing how on earth you were ever supposed to win $1 million by playing it. And unfortunately, whatever you were supposed to do probably is not available anymore, as you probably have to go on Xbox Live to do it. But still, it might still be interesting to check out. I don't know if there's any like remains of that. I hope it's still playable. I mean, hopefully it still has like a game. It's not just about winning the money. I don't know. We'll have to check that out and find out sometime in the near future. Anyway, Next up, we are going to be looking at some PlayStation 2 games, and like I said, it does get older than this. After the PlayStation 2, we will move on to the Super Nintendo, Atari, and even Famicom. There's a little bit of each of those. So anyway, for PlayStation 2, let's move on to Pac-Man World 3. Pac-Man World, I know it started out on the original PlayStation, and it's an interesting series I've never really gotten into. They look like really fun 3D platformers, so maybe I'll have to give them a shot someday. So, if anyone's played through the Pac-Man World series, please let me know what you think of it. Next game is Battlefield 2 Modern Combat. It sounds a lot like Modern Warfare. Call of Duty 2. There's no, how does it go? Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. I don't know, I've never really been super into the Call of Duty series. Although I do know it's Modern Warfare and Black Ops, which is the thing they seem to be rotating with each year now. Next game is Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3, which works out well because I have 1 and 2 for the PlayStation 2. Next up, we have Splinter Cell Chaos Theory. I know there are a whole ton of Splinter Cell games, and they're not numbered, so I have no idea which one is actually supposed to be the first one, like what order I should play them in if I ever do decide to play through them all. Next game is Manhunt, and the second I saw this game, I had this massive flashback of a time I walked into EB Games many years ago, EB Games GameStop, and the two guys who were working there, the store was empty until I walked into it, and the two guys working there were having an argument which game was better, Spongebob Battle for Bikini Bottom or Manhunt. I thought it was a really funny argument. I actually really like Spongebob Battle for Bikini Bottom. It's actually a really, really good platforming game, I think. Although I've never played Manhunt, so I don't know. If you've played both of the games, why don't you settle those workers' arguments for them? Which better, Manhunt or Spongebob Battle for Bikini Bottom? Like I said, it's a really good 3D platformer. It was for the GameCube, I believe, and Xbox and PS2. Yeah, it was like the second 3D SpongeBob platforming game after Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, and then the movie game came, and then after that the SpongeBob games kind of went downhill. Anyway, next up is Talk 2, The Staff of Dreams, another series I never really got into, because I missed a lot of the good series on the PlayStation 2, unfortunately, because I went for the GameCube that generation. I really have no regrets about that, because I'm sure there's some people out there who really don't think the GameCube was very great, although I think it had a lot of really awesome games. So I was happy with my choice, although I didn't get a PlayStation 2 until like a few years before the PlayStation 3 came out. So I really did miss a lot of the good series on it, and I just recently went back and started playing through some of them again, like I played through the Jack series. Although there are still a lot of series out there I unfortunately have not really dove into yet, which I probably should give a shot in the near future. Next game up is Biathlon 2008, and if we read the back here, it is recommended by Biathlon stars Magdalena Neuner, Kadi Wilhelm, and Michael Gracis. So you know it's a great game because all of those guys are definitely my favorite stars. And oh look, you even got their signatures on the front there, and my index finger is covering up that one at the bottom. So this is definitely the greatest game in the world, because they were definitely not paid just to say that this game was so awesome, because I'm sure they all played it for more than 5 minutes. Next game, we have Ratchet and Clank Going Commando, and this game, I did not pay $9.99 for it. I bought it from someone else who bought it from We Got Games. We Got Games, it's not a bad store, not too far from me, although I really hate them because they put stickers on that never ever come off. You pretty much have to spend like 30 minutes on each case that has all these stickers plastered all over it with like your sticky, your sticker glue remover to get them all off. So I don't understand why. I mean, obviously, and they do this with really old games too. I remember one day I was going to buy Mega Man 6 from them. This is many years ago, and they plastered this $39.99 sticker right across the label. I mean, that might even have been too much for it too. But yeah, I mean, you look at an NES game, and you have all of this is just a random one I grabbed off the shelf. You have all this gray area down here, but no, sometimes in We Got Games they will plaster the sticker right there, and it just baffles me beyond belief. And it's ridiculous because when you have old games like that, especially ones like the Mega Man games, I've seen it with like the Link to the Past for Super Nintendo, collectors are going to want them. And when the collectors buy them, or, you know, people like me, who, even though condition's not always super important for me if it's a game I'm getting, but there's no reason why you should pointlessly wreck a game when there is so much gray area to put the sticker on. So We Got Games does that. They just plaster stickers all over the worst spots. and then they never, ever, ever come off. Like, even GameStop has smartened up in recent years and got really good stickers that just peel off. But not We Got Games. They just get stuck there forever and ever. So that's like my one major pet peeve about them. And it's a massive pet peeve. I mean, if you are a retro game store, you should have stickers that do not absolutely suck. So yeah, pretty much, unless I want to spend like 16 hours getting all these stickers off, they will be there for a little while. But anyway, game is complete at least. Oh yeah, that's another pet peeve I had. Another thing that I've seen many used game stores do is you have the PlayStation 2 game, not the Greatest Hits edition, and then you open it up, and there's the Greatest Hits disc in it. So that must mean that at one point, someone traded in a non-Greatest Hits one and the Greatest Hits one, and then when someone bought the non-Greatest Hits one, some genius put the Greatest Hits disc in there. I mean, if you work at a retro game store, you should not make mistakes like that. But anyway, that's me ranting about retro game stores, and I could go on all day about things that they do wrong that they really shouldn't. Because, I mean, put the sticker in the gray area, not on the label. It's not that difficult. So, before I go on about this any longer, moving along, we have Nicktoons Attack of the Toy not the Toy Robots, the Toy Bots. I remember I played the very first like Nicktoons Unite game, and after that I never really played any of them again. It was an okay game. I never really got super into it, but anyway, Nicktoons. I think there was a few of them. I think there was like a Mountain Lava one, and I have no idea which number this one. Again, sequels that don't have numbers. Even if it's just like a little number in the bottom right corner, it would be really, really helpful. It's like, hey, I hate having to go and look up on the internet which game a game is in this, like, which number a game is in the series, just because the names make absolutely no sense. Two more PlayStation 2 games. We have Burnout Revenge. Looks like a pretty good racing game based on the back. And the final PlayStation 2 game for today is Batman Begins. And like I said, a lot of these are pretty complete. Have the book and everything in them. So yeah, that is those are some new additions for my PlayStation 2 collection with a rant about retro game stores in between, because this I have to settle down. It just really annoys me when they do that. They just put the sticker on the label, especially when it's like Nintendo 64 games. There's not a super massive amount. Like, unless your stickers are really small, it's hard to avoid the label. But with an NES game, there's so much gray. And Super Nintendo games, that there's no excuse for ever having a sticker that covers the label, especially when your stickers suck and they do not come off nicely at all. Like, I remember my original copy of The Guardian Legend. Let's see if I can find... Aha! I bought it from We Got Games for a few dollars. And look! We Got Games sticker completely wrecked the label because they were geniuses and put the sticker in the top left-hand corner. But anyway, okay. Actually, I guess, yeah, it'd be the right if you look at that. Look, hey, anyway. No more ranting about their crazy stickers. Hopefully someone sees this video and fixes it, because they're terrible and they wreck everything. And I don't buy things from there sometimes because I'm like, oh, that sticker's gonna wreck that, and that sticker's gonna wreck that. So, I mean, especially when you're selling, when you have retro games, collectors will want them. Don't wreck your freaking labels. Okay. Deep breaths. Moving on to some Famicom games. Biggest pet peeve ever. We have some fake Famicom games, and it's really bizarre finding Famicom games at thrift stores just because, how did they get there? And these ones were really bizarre, so I bought them. So we have Master Fighter 4. Definitely not a bootleg Street Fighter. We have, looks like to be the King of Fighters 2, somehow, on the Nintendo Famicom. And it looks like I might have to do another multi-cart week, because we have 1,200 games in one. Might as well get a close up there so you can see all the great pictures there. It looks like they've just been stolen from other multi-carts and placed on the front of this one. I have no idea why. But yeah, there you go. So 3 really crazy random Famicom games. Maybe I'll have to do random Game of the Days on them someday, because they're pirate games like I've shown the Sonic 4 Pirate on the Famicom. I don't know why so many random things got ported to the Famicom. So, I actually have Street Fighter 2 with the Famicom. Street Fighter 4 is probably the exact same thing, but still. How'd they grab it just for fun, so I'll probably have to try these out someday. For the GameCube, only got one game, and I mean, man, is it just the greatest game ever, and that is Madden 07. I don't know why. GameCube games are super hard to find, and I think this is probably... Unfortunately, there's no book. like I said earlier, a lot of people for some reason really did not like the GameCube at the time. So I find GameCube games to be a lot harder to find than PlayStation 2 or Xbox, which is a shame because I would really like to get more GameCube games because I really, really like the GameCube. It's definitely one of my favorite consoles, but I do like finding Xbox and PlayStation 2 games as well. Moving on to Super Nintendo now, we have some really random Super Nintendo games that I found, and one of them, we have Young Merlin for the Super Nintendo. We have Wizardry V, or Wizardry 5, which is really bizarre. I have Wizardry 1 and 2 for NES, and then this is Wizardry 5 for Super Nintendo. I have no idea what happened to 3 and 4. I don't know if 3 and 4 were also for Super Nintendo, and I just have not seen them. Because I know that they were not for NES. Or maybe they just skipped them all. They pulled the Final Fantasy and went 1, 2, 3, 7. And maybe that was something like what happened here. I have no idea. So anyway, Wizardry 5 for the Super Nintendo. And the last Super Nintendo game of the day is Pit Fighter. And it looks like a very bizarre fighting game. This guy just got uppercut in the face. So I have no idea what to think of that. And one more Super Nintendo thing, that I have to show is the Super Game Boy 2. And some people might be like, what? There was a Super Game Boy 2? And the answer is yes. Only in Japan. I have no idea why. How long would it have taken to just take this board, slap it into a, a North American Super Nintendo game case, and bring it to North America? Although, the cool thing about this is that it plays Game Boy Color games, because believe it or not, the Super Game Boy for the original Super Nintendo that we got in North America did not play Game Boy Color games. I remember I used to think it did, and I was shocked when I found out it didn't, but this is like many, many years ago. Also, the Super Game Boy 2 features a link cable port on the side, which is cool. Although the link cables are usually like this long, so you'd have to like sit right up against the Super Nintendo if you were the one with the Game Boy. But yeah, overall, I just really think that this is really neat, and it's see-through, so you can even kind of see the board inside. No idea why they did not bring this to North America. I can imagine people would probably want to play Game Boy Color games on their TV, but I guess they just didn't think there would be enough demand for it, or it came out super late. I am not 100% sure of that yet, although we would not be able to play Game Boy Color games on our TV until the Game Boy Player, which came a few years later. Almost done now. A few more things to point out. Got some really random PlayStation games, which I'll go over super quickly. We got Madden 99, we have Andretti Racing, and we have NFL Extreme! See, I have no idea. Like, that's the one thing I hate about sports games, is sometimes you would have, like, NFL 99, or Madden 99, and in the same year, NFL Extreme would come out, so, like, they're both football. What's the difference? So, I'm not saying that this NFL Extreme did come out in 1999, but that will happen a lot when more than one sports game of the same sport will come out in the same year, and that's another one of my pet peeves. This is Andrew's pet peeves of video games video, although my main thing is definitely those stickers. I hate them so much. I don't know how many hours I have wasted just because they placed the stickers in the absolute worst spot, or because like they placed like 40 of them on the thing for no reason. Anyway, next up we have some Atari games. Not very many, but they are very bizarre. And the first Atari game, I think I will zoom in for these just because they are so weird. First Atari game, if we look at the label, we will see it has absolutely no name on it. Although if we look at the end here, you'll see it is actually called Time Warp. These are very weird Atari games, and I am actually not 100% sure what the story is between each of them. Another Atari game, you got this guy kind of just like angry in space with that alien guy, and this one is Turmoil. Another Atari game here. Lots of crazy stuff going on in this picture. There's like spaceships everywhere. This one is Frontline. And this one is completely normal, and we have Stargate for the Atari 2600. I have no idea if that is supposed to be based off of the show. Probably not, I would say, but you just never know. So yeah, some really, really weird Atari games. I'm not entirely sure what's up with these ones. My Atari knowledge, I know quite a bit about like the different, like Atari 2600 games are really bizarre. Because there's just so many different cases and designs on them, but these are probably some of the weirdest ones I've seen, with like no picture on the front and just a random picture on the end. So if you know anything about those ones, please let me know about them. Almost there. Second last thing I have to show, kind of second last thing, is Like the monkey with the maracas game for the Wii. That's what I always call it, because I could never remember the name. And we have Samba de Amigo. So we have the game there, and we also have the box with the maracas, and it's all sealed. So I don't know if this is the original seal or not, but I saw it for $10 at a flea market. So I picked it up, but I thought it was kind of neat. Not sure if it's worth more or less than 10, but I figured for $10 I probably couldn't go wrong, since everything seems to be like brand new. Like if this isn't the original seal, I mean the game is still sealed. The box looks like it's never been opened. So overall, I have no idea if $10 was a good deal or not, but I'm going to add it to my collection anyway. So yeah, got that. Unfortunately, it's not the Dreamcast one. No, I can't. I don't know if this is a direct direct port, or if it's like a sequel or what to the remake. Sorry, not to the remake, to the Dreamcast game that used the maracas. I actually have the maracas for it, although I do not have the Dreamcast game, which is kind of funny. And the last two things that I have to show, which I've had them for a little bit, although I never showed them, so I figured I would point them out now, are the Super Mario Checkers and the Super Mario chess set. These things have always been really expensive, actually. I didn't even know that the checkers existed until a little while ago. But this, like the chess set, I know is like $50, and the checkers says $25 on it. I was at a mall I don't normally go to about a month ago. I mean, what's the point of going to malls? I mean, it's like 95% closed stores. And sometimes there'll be like one video game store in there, then it's like a GameStop. They don't really sell retro games. They don't even sell like PlayStation 2, Xbox, or GameCube anymore, so unless there's something I want brand new, I don't usually make a special trip to go to GameStops. So I was in the mall, and there was this board game store, and it just happened to be the last day that it was like going to be open. So they had a 50% sale or 50% or more sale on absolutely everything. So these things have been around for a long time, although I've never grabbed them because of the price. Although just because of the deal, I'm never gonna get a chance to get such a good deal on them again. So I grabbed them. So I thought that was kind of neat. I'm going to have to give those a play in the near future. But yeah, I know that this video turned into like a massive let's rant about everything. The stickers kind of got me started on that. From now on, I am never going to show things in my videos that have stickers plastered all over them. Oh man! Got me really worked up there. Hopefully it did not wreck the video though, and hopefully everyone still enjoyed seeing some of the really random things. So, like something for everything, kind of. Not really, I guess there was no 64 or anything in this video, but a whole bunch of random stuff, and hopefully everyone enjoyed seeing it, and also hopefully my rant did not wreck everything. But once again, as I said at the beginning of the video, thank you everyone for your support. I never thought I would get to 1,000 subscribers. It really is amazing, and I hope that everyone enjoys some of the cool things that I will have happening in the near future. But anyway, I believe that is where we are going to end this video off for today. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time for something different. So thanks, and see you later.